Hello there. Hi, how are you guys? Good to see you. I decided to open up the chat a little bit early so those of you hanging out in the lobby could just chit-chat amongst yourselves before we got started. It's a Friday. We made it to this Friday. Can you what? I know, crazy chaos. We've been through this before, and it's kind of like he has got less influence. He's not as powerful as he was. And yes, I still have this cold. Thank you so much, you guys, for your advice on that. If you listen to that short, holy cow, we got to talk about that. Actually, that's where we're going to go today. But the way these, especially Mars's position, it is really sitting right on my Saturn, which is right. It's got like there's such a tight aspect going on. It's just sitting on my Saturn in Taurus, which rules the neck. It's like this thing won't budge out of this one specific area. So I'm just going to take it with a grain of salt. How are you guys? How are you? So nice to see you guys. Sue Ellen, Marie, Amy, love Mother Earth, Wendy and Robin and Connie. Happy Friday, you guys. Hi, Apple Paisley, Cynthia, Teresa. Happy to see all you guys here. And Caroline Wade. Looking forward to another. I know I was so bummed I couldn't go live on Wednesday. But it was a horrible chart. And I'm glad I just postponed it a couple days. And Virginia. Whoops. Oh, this just skipped ahead. Roses and Bees. And Free Spirit. And Gigi. Antoinette's granddaughter. Just kidding. Hi, Steve. Louisa. Happy Sunshine. Delphine. Lori. Karen. I think I got all you guys in. Oh, there's another Regina. Hi, Angelique. Aloha. Oh, thank you for that aloha. I do have a bit of unfortunate news today. I feel like it's kind of hitting my brain a little bit. My dear Uncle Ron passed away. He is in Hawaii. He hasn't been doing too well. His daughter, my cousin Jana, she's the one that I traveled with to Europe for our other cousin's wedding in Greece this summer. And you know what? I think about mid-October, I really felt like there was a death that was coming. I could just sense it and feel it. It's just kind of like there's these moments of quiet when the universe gets really, really quiet for me, like nothing is going on. Like I don't have contact with people. It's just really odd how this happens. And then like I realized 100% this time that was because someone was going to pass. And it's interesting because this week we are in eclipse weather from the September 17th eclipse, full moon eclipse. And I feel like his passing is directly related to that. It's always so sad when we are missing our people. But I have felt him close with me already. I feel like he's here in session, wants to see what we're doing because the family, the Ohana there's kind of like this this vibe, this energy of superstition and spirits. And it's kind of like he's here, like wanting to see what's going on. I took a walk with the dogs and I was just kind of thinking about him and I could just feel my hands just pulsating with so much energy. Like I didn't know if I should still go live. And like, of course I have to go live, but then like my hands just lit up. And so, but he's part of that generation. This is what makes me sad for their generation. Like he was born before Pearl Harbor happened. And then my dad was born after Pearl Harbor. So they were all, plantation families working, in the fields. And it's like with the advent of the jet engine, people started flying to Hawaii more and more. It was their generation that introduced to the world that sense of aloha spirit. And that it just embodies every single one of them. But he passed in his sleep very peacefully. It's just one of those kind of hard things. And I could feel earlier, like, I don't know if my brain's going to work tonight, but we'll be okay. We'll be okay. And I think, I asked him, I don't know what I saw, because I'm just seeing too much donholio these days and whatever feed I have looking at. It's like I have got him muted on everything, blocked on everything, but still his pictures keep showing up. And I'm like, Uncle, what's up with him? And he's like, oh, he's dying. He's gone. He like with such certainty and almost surprise on his end, sounding like he didn't realize it was this serious and this close. Take it with a grain of salt. That's just what I heard his voice in my brain. So anyway, how are you guys doing? Yeah, thanks you guys. Thank you so much. Yes, Ola. Hi, Karen. Karen, I'm in Portland. There's widespread talk of the air traffic control chatter about UFOs a few weeks ago. I am not surprised. You know what? I am not one who focuses on UFOs or aliens, but there's definitely a buzz in the air. That's like beyond us, but it makes kind of sense in the times that we're in right now. Did you see that Oleg D, his recording studio in California was seized? And I did not see that. Happy Sunshine, when did that happen? And who seized it? I assume the FBI, not like, the courts for like non-payment, but good place for pedos. Yep, in the industry. Think et al. Absolutely. I have a secret about the Diddy bust. Shh. I have another cousin, and her spouse was involved in that bust in California. He was formerly I shouldn't even say that, a type of sharpshooter before that. So that's all I'm going to say. I probably shouldn't even say that much. But that thing it's going nowhere. I mean, he's going nowhere. Okay. Elizabeth, never miss your videos. Love your work. Much love to all. Thank you, Elizabeth. Oh, and I have to say thank you guys so much for watching and rewatching my videos. Like some of you said, because I'm like so close to hitting that 3,000 hour mark of live streams, public viewing hours. And there's a delay on it, so I kept waiting to see when the numbers would come in, and then I got a big number come in. But each time since, there's just another handful of hours, another handful just trickle in. So I am only about 150 hours away, and I am so excited for that. And I have to thank you guys so much for all your support and love, and just for viewing. So I will finally be able to monetize, and that there's other things I'll be able to do after that. But I'm hoping by the next time I go live, perhaps, I'll be official and everything, right? Okay. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. What? I have something about a moth that is... Angela, the moth shows up, of course. She says, I have a black witch moth on my window screen. In Hawaii, it means a loved one coming to say goodbye. So consider yourself visited. Absolutely. I have had moths come to my windows in the dead of winter. I don't know how they find, we'll have snow on the ground, and somehow they find the light, by a window and say hello. It's insane. Thank you. Your granddad ran their plantations on Maui and Spreckelsville. Wow. You know what? I'm so sad that I know that the plantations are gone, but Maui's no longer that lush green. They called it the Valley Isle because of all the sugar cane and the pineapple. It was so lush and green. And the last time I went there, the year before the fire, everything was brown. I'm like, what happened? I'm talking to my cousin, and they're like, yeah, they're not growing anymore. So nothing was being watered. I kind of think that had something to do with the intensity of the fires, because acres and thousands of acres of just dead brown brush, sugarcane just sitting there that could just ignite immediately. It just didn't help. Rain's turning into ice in Iowa. Ooh, be careful. Wells Fargo ultimately froze the Ocean Studios bank account due to its relationship with him, and the federal government now working to seize more than $3.4 million in that account. Holy crap, that is massive. When is this guy, Oleg, ever going to get deported to the U.S. like Julian? Because Julian ass Ange he's like the crux of the election interference. You know, like all roads lead to him and Oleg from the 2016 election. You usually watch 3 times. You watched 7 times last week. Well, excellent. I'm so happy. Hi, Lola. Kate, why are they not growing sugarcane in Hawaii anymore? It's just there's not the money there anymore. It's too costly to grow. Like they don't grow pineapple. Well, they do have some of the pineapple like on Oahu. A lot of people are going more towards coffee bean and cocoa. It's just that all those, they're all changing over. The fire did not touch the graveyard. Wow. My mom said every time a bird hits the window at home, there was or going to be a death. She always got news that a family had died as soon as. Oh my gosh. I can't stand it when those birds hit the window. Okay, I need to blow my nose and we're going to get started. So. Okay, Friday the 13th. I never thought it was bad luck until today. Oh my gosh. So did you guys happen to see that short that I put out? I think it went live yesterday and I recorded it like in the middle of the night, Wednesday night. It just blew me away. Basically, I finally got to all the teroscopes in all the locations for the crisis first quarter moon that was last, I think it was on the 1st. No. It was on the 8th. So that was on Sunday. So Sunday was the actual crisis quarter moon. And that, I think, was during the time of the Notre Dame dedication ceremony. Which, by the way, didn't you just love that picture of Macron and, why do I want to say Volodymyr Zelensky? I almost called him Zelensky. And donholio. It's like donholio, he's in a bad space. And Macron and Zelensky are totally taking advantage of that. But I'll tell you who's in a really bad place is PUTZ and what's going on and not going on over there in Syria. So anyway, that quarter moon was on Sunday. So Wednesday, I finally got to look at the quarter moon charts. And I added I added 13 things, 13 locations. Because I'm like, what is going on with this thing? And by the time, like, look, I did DC, Mar-a-Lago, Taiwan, China, NATO, France, Russia, Ukraine, Syria, Israel. And by the time I got to here with Syria, and I looked at the secret and what was being unleashed, I was like, holy crap. The U.S. is totally has a hand in this. Then I did one for Israel. I did Athens because why after this happens is Kimberly Gargoyle going to be an ambassador? And then I wanted to know POTUS's, position on all this. But then here comes ChrisWray. And I'm like, oh, come on now. And I know he was genuinely and sincerely trying to convey some reason why he was retiring early. Like you can see the South Node reversed. The South Node is something that you're releasing. It's reversed because he didn't do a good job and it was in the skies and everyone could tell what a bad decision this was because the South Node, we don't do it this way. But his especially and POTUS is the story, and it totally relates to the Syria thing, okay? Oh, thank you. Yes, I think I have fun making my boards look pretty. I don't think a lot of people are going to be confirmed, to tell you the truth, Julia. It's just, the more these candidates are out there, they just get so flatter and flatter than soda, sitting out for an entire week that nobody will touch and nobody will drink. You just want to toss it in the garbage. They've been around too long. That is totally hegs. And like, it's like with trash. Are they still calling him trash? Him? It's like, don't even come here. GTFO. So, and him, they're all just hitting a dead end. And here's the thing. This is what I appreciate about Mars retrograde. Mars is the one that defends you. It protects you when you're charging forth, no matter what the war is, no matter what donholio does, we're going to get behind him, even though I want to throw up and chew my arm off. We're getting behind him, and we are going to make everything happen, because I just can't go on offense against everything else that might happen to me. So that is Mars aggression. But when Mars is retrograde, Mars is sleepy. It cannot defend the indefensible. And so even with this Pluto Aquarius age, Mars opposing it's like you can just tell with some of the GOP kind of chomping at the bit. It's like they know their power. And donholio knows that he's not getting a lot of support. I mean, he I almost said he can't get it up. Well, he can't get up during the day and go. But it's like all that. He is just sludge. He's just sludging along, putting on bad makeup and doing bad hair because his brain is melting. His sense of perception, every time now I look at that makeup and hair, I'm like, oh my God, it's gotten so much worse. I'm like, you can't like spatially judge how awful your hair is, and you can't think ahead to see. Like, we knew the hairline and the makeup line was bad, but now it's like in splotches. It's like my grandmother. Oh my gosh. It's so bad. How are you guys? Oh, Bibi was hauled into court. I'll try. Okay. So, whoops, here. Okay, so this is just unbelievable. I have to start with this. So, and it's the ChrisWray story I'm going to start out with. Okay, so I'm just going to tell this story. Not going to have all the cards. Well, maybe I should get some. Okay, so this quarter moon happens, and basically as I'm going through this, like Wednesday finally, everything kept coming up with the Syria. And I wish I could use a different word because I feel like, the AI doesn't like that. The Syriasly. Okay? Syriasly. Okay. So my question, when it seriously happened, like, this teroscope was the collapse. Okay? So we have here the collapse. The card signifying the first house. Who is this collapse? I had the card, see, look at me. Saturn return age. Saturn return, like all these guys, donholio, PUTZ, G, all of them who are in this, including that guy, Yoon in Taiwan. It's like donholio's coming back. Saturn returns. Saturn has to do with authority. It has to do with structure. But with the Syriasly here, Saturn return age, this is the card. It was reversed, meaning this guy was overturned. This card came out. I was like, what? And for ChrisWray, his card, I totally knew it was an excuse when I saw his card. His card, this is to quit like this and to go against norms and to just given, I mean, people were pissed. I was kind of laughing because when I saw him, I'm like, he's a bad BSer. This happened another time. He was such a bad BSer to me. I mean, he really tries hard to do the right thing. But he got 6th house routine. Okay, so this is public servants. But when you do something like that shocking, you should have like a judgment card. You should be getting hit with Pluto. You like everything should be shaking apart. You got the Tower card. No, we've got this demure 6th house routine card. Your routine of your day, that's like your job. Those are public servants that show up to work. It's like in this area of the house that just works. It just works. It's Virgo. And I'm like, holy heck, the Syriasly falls and I'm just going about my business. No. So that's his card. So I like colored in this whole, oh, wait, I don't want to color in this one because it's my only copy, fresh copy, because I knew I made 5 copies because I know I've never made this many copies. Because I am just going to draw all over it. So let's go back here. He is the 6th. Oh, boy, we need some cards. My hands are already laughing. So here's the 6th house over here for everyone's teroscopes. Now, so it's kind of like he owns this real estate in the teroscope. Like, this is why I'm done. Well, we had this week of insanity. So remember I said Saturn return age, this is what showed up for Syriasly ending. Well, I looked at the 6th house. Where's Syria? It's here, but I'm looking up and down the house. And, oh, Saturn return age, this is, well, Syria. I'm sorry. Give me another. So I'm like looking over here in the 6th house. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at Saturn return age shows up here in the 6th house. Mar-a-Lago, 6th house, and Taiwan, 6th house. They both share this. So whatever is happening this week, this is what's consuming their day-to-day go-to routine. And I also felt like Wray had to quit because whatever's coming out, it's almost like he's a conflict of interest. He gets out soon enough. It's like, no, this is like a legit investigation. This is a legit this and that because I'm out of here. It was more of like a protective measure. And I also read that because he's going to do it this way, the next person to head the FBI, they absolutely have to have a confirmation hearing. And so you just can't put someone acting in. So I thought that was brilliant, and I totally understood it. You guys get that? Oh, yeah, I hope the Jackie Smith report comes out. It's supposed to come out. What day do they have set for the report? Delphian, what gift did he provide our fearful leader? He let him know the gig was up. Whatever he shared with him, it's like donholio knows he's caught between a rock and a hard place, and he is freaked out. You guys, I have been seeing him so freaked out for so, like he won. He should be happy and celebrating, but it's kind of like he knows it's evidence as to what he's done, and he's been trying to keep it under wraps, but he knows it's going to get out. Okay, so that's it. Let me just grab some cards on Wray. Okay, so I am going to grab this before tarot deck to ask him what happened beforehand, because we know it's not that. Okay. So, and look at, so this was a card for Syriasly, Saturn return age. It's flipped over. It's like, that guy can't come back, Bashar. This is what was fueling Wray's week. He has Saturn return here. What's giving him life? What's fueling his decisions? It's what happened here. And it's right next to, he's got 2 Saturns, and it's right next to the truth. And he had to resign. So ChrisWray, the thing that's driving your decision, 6th house, was what did you have to do with, oh boy, this falling, the Saturn return age. What did you guys have to do with it? What did you have to do with it? You had this, there's no challenge here. Whatever they pulled off, it was crisp. It was a good job. And what's the truth that, oh, this is what he has to get ahead of. What do you, right here, what do you have to get ahead of with the truth? The truth, oh, whoa. The truth, this feels like it's falling. Something's going to like fall. And then it feels like it's flat. Can you guys see that? What? These are all upside down? No, they're not. The Knight of Wands. This is my, does this go? Nope. The Knight of Wands. This is my FBI card. And it's reversed. It's undercover. Okay, so FBI has been doing some covert undercover thing with an agreement with somebody else to help out. These are Americans. They're partnership. These are old partners. I think this is what's going on in that country. So undercover working on this. So as he sees the Syriasly, why he's leaving, the 10 of Wands reverse. Remember, I said whatever they were working on, it was completed, okay? But it's reversed because it's under wraps and waiting for this thing to explode in the public eye. 10 of Wands, it's done. Which makes sense with an agreement, because, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the middleman. 8, 9, 10 is the person in charge that is able to finish off the job. Now, the truth, though, right here, oh, the sun reversed. Is it it's the truth? It's related to the truth. Has not come out yet. And what's the challenge? This is why you had to get out ahead of time. The 4 of Pentacles. Is this reversed? Oh, there's going to be instability because the shite is going to hit the fan. And here's the thing. With him leaving, donholio can't say, it's unfair. They're doing this to me. Blah, blah, blah. I'm a victim. It actually puts the onus more now on the GOP because now he has to have someone confirm it. It totally deflates that whole argument about poor me. I'm a victim. They're coming after me. Nope. It's withdrawing that fuel to his fire against everybody else. But then this is also, if he doesn't get out, this is other. Oh, I think if he doesn't get out, he can't prove consummation with donholio and these Saturn return, all these dudes who want to take off the world. This is I said it was kind of flatlining. The Queen. You guys, the Queen of Wands. Remember, queens are nations? There's my throat. That is really tight on my throat. This is it. Donald wants to start his new donholio nation, take everything, destroy everything, but Wray knows that if he gets out, it stops him. Does it make sense? Okay, so we got that. Something else I want to show you about the 6th house because it just blew my mind. So we look, so this is ChrisWray. What just happened to my eye? So he takes care of the 6th house. Well, look at the 6th house is right here in the 7th house for Ukraine. And the 7th house is your partner. So maybe that 2 of Cups here that was under the Knight of Wands, working with someone over a long period. There you go. That's the person he's working with, and it might be related to the Ukraine. So Ukraine then has the provoke card. Like when donholio has the provoke card, that's why he's provoking everyone. That's when he's got his P-boys out there, and he's got like his Nazis out there marching in Tennessee because they provoke things on the ground. So he's working with someone, Ukraine. He knows about donholio's provocation. He's got evidence of how donholio does this on a transnational level, okay? And then, where else is this sixth house? It only showed up. It hardly showed up. Oh, here. Oh, okay. So this is Ukraine. This is NATO. NATO is working on something with ChrisWray about the truth and undercover agents and agreements that are made with Ukraine and the provocations going on. I'm getting like how those influencers influence protests, just create a lot of chaos. Well, here NATO has a sixth house card with ChrisWray. This is a fourth house. This is your hidden defenses. Your hidden defenses no one can see, but how you defend home, you defend your people, you defend from the agreements which you came from, and you protect them no matter what. It's not hidden in like a Scorpio type of mysterious way. No, this is kind of like at your house. When you want to go home and be left alone, don't bug me. This is where I go to chill out. It's like that. And they are really protecting what they have going on here. And it's related to, this is where I had it related to the Syriasly. And look at what's feeding Putz here. Giving him life. Holy crap. The sixth house. I feel like Wray is on the inside. However, Putz is making decisions, day-to-day operations with water. There you go. That's their surveillanceware. I'm telling you, the U.S. has a thing that takes care of NSO Pegasus, and they don't know about it. They suspect it though. And I think that's why they're so wigged out. Okay, so, and those were the only things that showed up with the sixth house. So do you see how refined hey NATO, I got a question. I'm gonna get the after deck. Okay, let's see. I'm going to try to take care of some of these reversals. How are you guys? Okay, I cannot multitask. I always think that I can multitask, but just, not today. I was saying, NATO, what have you got? Yes, what do you have? Okay. Oh my gosh. What do you have, NATO? I need a new color. Let's go to blue. No, we're going to go to purple because I like blue for the US and POTUS. So NATO, what do you got? So what is feeding NATO with the fall of Syria? Seventh house. That goes to the seventh house. Those have to do with third house messaging, information that you have, intelligence. And look at that. They're looking at China's partner, whoever they're messaging. Now we've got China involved. We have, that's the seventh house. Look at this. Air. This is communications. Reversed. That element, that is undercover. And guess who has air? Mar-a-Lago, donholio, and Elon, blah, blah, blah. Do you see where this is going? Then we have the sun, reversed, and Leo, I will. They're keeping something under wraps with some world leaders, okay? But they are signified by the North Node. This is where we go. This is our destiny. Okay, can you, NATO, I want to know how you're, okay, I got to start writing this down. is getting too complex. I can barely even keep my thoughts in my head. Okay, no, so I want to know what you're working on with Wray, and then to the events in Syria. Okay? This is holy crap. What are you working on with Wray? This just feels so clean and crisp. This is the fall of Syria. How it fell. How did it fall? It feels like it was a really easy thing to do because Putz and all them took their eye off the ball. Oh, the 5 of Pentacles. How about that? This is going to be a lot of things. I've seen everybody have this, okay? I've seen, no matter who has it, I think it might be how they're having their secret communications. I just got a yes. Yes. Because like NATO has to have their own secure comms. You know, donholio has to have his secure, but it's not that secure, but it's to keep everybody out, okay? So what's driving this, we have this. There's that 7 of Pentacles again. This is unleashing. It's like they have got all their evidence here that's just been piling up, and they're just ready to everything they've invested in, they're just ready to let it go. And ChrisWray was part of that. Why? What was ChrisWray doing with you guys? Oh, the tower. Okay, so ChrisWray has the tower to strike and the power to strike. This is like a really forceful clearing of pent-up energy that they've been working on for so very long. Oh my gosh. Someone's going to be down and out. This is why he had to go. Lord of the host of mighty. What does this mean? Oh, the Lord of war and the mighty. Holy crap, so Wray did this. And the Fool reversed. Okay, so donholio won the election. But a lot of stuff happened where we don't want him to start in January. That's what I'm getting from this. Really pulling out all the stops, and it involved the Syriasly because the 3 of Cups, conspiracy. Okay, yes, conspiracy because there are multiple nations, multiple intelligence agencies. I mean, you've got Interpol. You've got all that stuff going on. There goes my throat. That's been tracking this forever. And so finally they were able to put everything together that lines up perfectly. I kind of feel like this is why that whoever is it, the rebels, the guy that was formerly ICE, that guy, he's like gone. Now he wears, like a blazer, and he's clean cut, and he talks professionally. And he like made the switch, and they're really pushing just for peace and democracy. Somehow there's like a backward to them to do that. And so Syriasly, there you go. That Ace of Wands. Finally, I was seeing this Ace of Wands everywhere. To charge forth and strike. For the Queen of Pentacles, she as a nation and her values. Ace of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, and to dump Russia. The Empress is the Russia. This conspiracy. They've been setting up Putz for a long time with intelligence. Like, like testing out where are his weaknesses. And that's why Ukraine and Zelensky has been so involved, and they've had to be so patient because they've had to try to crack the code of what PUTZ was doing over there in the Syriasly. Okay, Syriasly. So, yep, that's part of Ukraine's strategy going forward, was to drain Russia's resources so that they could have this final strike. And Wray, had to get out of town, so he was not associated with this whatsoever. Does that make sense? Holy cow. Oh, which one is this? PBS tonight. Turkey, Iraq, and U.S. are talking to the... They're talking to the rebels. And Turkey is right there next door. And I think they've always wanted to acquire that, but they know that they can't. I mean, their inflation is absolutely horrible. And the whole reason why Bibi went and bombed everything is because of all the intelligence that was going. I mean, they are so freaked out about that. Okay, so that's what happened. Who else I want to look at here? Oh, and this is why, because this symbol, Cancer, the United States is a Cancerian nation. So I always get that card shows up. It's the United States. So that's why I just want to show it to you guys. You guys know what it looks like. This Capricorn I use, that's more like China using their money and resources. But it's usually someone using the government to get something done. There's the air. But I've been seeing it a lot more with China, I think maybe being embedded. There we go. There's that Neptune card, which is sacrifice of democracy. Here's the Cancer I feel card. So by the time I'm doing all these, I'm just taking my time. Blah, da, 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 da. Oh, we got people home. So with the fall of the Syriasly, how did that happen? This is what I got to. And I had to say this out loud in my head over and over. The secret as to why it fell was because of the 11th house, the allies and the friends, meaning like the NATO, the Ukraine, and US, and the hidden enemy, that which was to be unleashed, causing the fall, was Cancer, the sign of Cancer. NATO showed up with Cancer as their secret. But China also did as well, because China's got their asymmetrical thing. I feel like what they're always doing, like with donholio, is getting them to test the waters and figure out where our weaknesses are. I totally think that is why RFK Jr. is like, we gotta get rid of the vaccines. It's like, just back up here. We're not... Okay, pharma's not going to agree to that. I mean... Do you know how much money they're just making on one vaccination, not just in our nation, but around the globe? And so they put all this crap forward because outrage drives the narrative. That's what Jared said over and over again. Outrage drives the narrative. So look what's happening again. What's flooding the news? What's flooding print? It's that. And it serves as two functions. One, to grab all the oxygen in the room and be the cover for something else. But two, we always think when he does these ridiculous things that gobble up the narrative, we never get the full story. And for me, the full story is they're not really going to do that. Number one, they are appealing. There is a big section of the left that they need to stay loyal to them. The far left, the anti-vax, the super you know what I mean? Natural living, you're off the grid. And I'm just talking extreme, okay? There's no judgment here, but there is a portion that is the far left that they need to keep, awake and alert, to pay attention during this very scary time of transition, because they need them to back them, okay? But the other thing that they're doing is testing the waters. Okay, if we want to do something extreme, we're going to follow this procedure. Are we going to be denied? If we're denied, now what step can we take? And by being denied, can we figure out who we might have some people in that agency or in the government who might help support us with this? Because they just use that as a playbook for the things that they're really, really, really going to take down. But they need everyone to be docile and compliant. That far left section. And because they had so much success about masks and anti-vaccination during the midterms, like that's why they keep reviving the mask thing, is because they need some riling up and they need some help, because they know nobody likes them or their policies. That's why they always need to have outrage. Okay, does this make sense, you guys? My gosh, it's 6:45. Pootie's base was backed up and they left today. Awesome. That's what's leading us to this full moon. And I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to look at this full moon chart with the news this morning of my uncle. I agree with you. Send him into orbit with the rest of them. Avril Haines, Director of National Intelligence. What is going on behind closed doors? Okay, I just love her in intelligence. She is so smart. And Biden's cabinet that he picked were a lot of people that just don't have ties to anybody who's influential with money. Okay, so knowing what we know now, let's take a look at Avril Haines. Oh, one last thing. Remember I said ChrisWray resigning? How people were so pissed off with the South Node reversed. The South Node, that was all in the news. We all knew about it. It was in the 10th house, very public discussion. South Node, you're releasing something. He was releasing his job. Reversed in a very unapproving way. People were pissed off, but he needed that narrative, okay? So where was POTUS in all of this and what was going on? Look what's feeding his chart for the fall of the Syriasly. He's got the South Node here. Part of the fall of this, he has to step away, okay? And look at, he's got here, who's this? The North Node? NATO? Okay. The moon. And here, I find this very interesting. We have the Gemini card here. This is the 5th house of leadership, office of the President of the United States. I have always seen this as like Trump Russia, but I am seeing this truly as the office during transition from one leader to another. Okay, so this is part of the plan. Okay, so this, yeah. What do you want to say about that transition plan? Because we're all terrified it's going to transition, but he has to get a strict outline out there. Oh, what? Uncle Ron, what do you say? He's like, yes, 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 yes. He has to do that. So there's so much stuff that it's undeniable. And he's dying. Okay, Uncle. Okay, which one is this? This is the before. These are all backwards. This makes sense. I love Avril, and she's so down to earth. She is so smart. She is so smart, and I love the way POTUS is talking about her in the past. He's like, I could just talk to her about everything. She's so smart. She knows everything, and she's just so full of resources in the angle in which she looks at intelligence. And I think women are excellent at intelligence because our brains are geared in different ways that just is in the blind spot for the mostly male brain. Okay, I am not being sexist. I'm just saying, because the women we're yang. I mean, we're yin. We are looking at the defenses of that which makes us hold. We're not just looking at defenses as projectiles and shooting things off. I love it. I just love it. But she is very, very smart. Okay, what are we doing here, POTUS? Now these are all. I want to know, POTUS, You're so worried about the office of the President of the United States. But I feel like this is about the transition. Uncle Ron is saying, yes, there's a lot of stuff that he's building up to make his case. Okay, I want to know what that case is. Operating conditions. Big Pharma versus Tucker. Let them find out. Yeah. Thank you, Uncle Ron. See, Uncle Ron. He's like, yes, thank you. But he's really paying attention to this. Oh my gosh, I love this. I love this. Okay. POTUS has to get all this. He just wants to break this in half. I'm not going to break my card, or bend it, but it's like we're really cutting off. Oh boy. Okay. First of all, show me the card on how you're going to cut it off. How does this get cut off? How does this get cut off? Oh my gosh, my cards. I told you my brain is not working today. Let's try this again. How are you cutting this off? How are you cutting this off? Okay, what is going on? This. It's like we're really just trying to pull him away from. This is what's cutting. This is what he's done to get ahead of. And how do each one of these? Here's donholio, not in office, not in office. How does this keep him out? How does this keep him out? Oh my gosh. The Fool shows up again. This was NATO. And who else? Wanting to keep him out. I just did this reading. Hey, Gretchen. Cutting off. Oh, yeah. He's cutting him off. The transition. He wants to keep him out. We have the Fool. The Five of Wands. The fight. The fight. There's an active fight going on about this. Ooh, and the Tower. That was what ChrisWray was working on. And the Eight of Cups. We've been here before. Oh, he got set up. He's getting set up with stuff and evidence. So, POTUS wants to cut donholio away from office. The sun, the revelation, the most clearest indicators, most authentic, undeniable things that he is acting as POTUS to defend our nation. It's in our best interests. Which deck is this? Is this the after? Look at this is the after card. The baby has been lifted off the horse. The sunflowers are looking down, like they've climaxed, they've reached their peak. The baby, I don't know what's going on with the baby, but it's no longer, it's not a new thing to be entertained by. donholio is dead weight. Oh my gosh. So he's cutting him off. He should not sit on that horse. He should not sit on the throne that he thinks he should be on. He's cutting him off. Here, the strength. This is the heart. This is Russia. This has always been the strength card of Russia onto donholio. This is why we have to cut him off. The King of Swords. Ooh. He's got that sword. He's got the intelligence. He means what he says, and he has the authority and power to do so. But he wants to... You guys, don't let me to forget to show you this about him re-signing the authorization to... You know what this is. I'll tell you about that later. So he has all this stuff over here. He's done this. Oh, yes, no. So is this yes or no? Does it go this? Okay, so this is a yes reverse card because this deck doesn't have those cards that I really like. I need another card. He's got a contact here that is under wraps, that's undeniable. Wait, which way does it? To overthrow the government. And, you know, like a Russia type of government. He's got undeniable because of that. He has the Nine of Swords. This is an absolute nightmare. We have to end this nightmare of where we're sliding into. And this dread. We cannot do this anymore. And this... to protect the White House, the office of the President of the United States, and where we've been, what we've done. This plan, all these things he's gotten to fruition. Like, this feels like it's done. Like, we're protecting this. And the King of Wands, his leadership. He is actively engaging in this plan to cut donholio off. So this is Donald cut off. The thief. He just showed up with that Seven of Swords. Was that last week? I was dying from that. He's not going to steal the seat. He is not going to steal the office. How does cutting him off relate to this? How does this get him cut off here? The Magician. What is this Magician? It involves Wray. It involves NATO. It's going to look like a magician did this all of a sudden when it comes out. But this has been I don't want to say eons, but many lunations of the... Since he came into office, this is what they've been looking for. With the Russia, him not being in office, the Ten of Cups, the Republican Party. The Republican Party, the GOP, the far right... I don't think is the GOP have any problems with separating themselves with them? Because this is, I don't feel like they're not totally opposed to King of Pentacles. Yeah, they see him as the king. Oh, it's more their donors is why that. But they don't feel a strong allegiance to him. It's more towards their donors. And how, because I said so, and I've got the backing to do this. How does this relate to him wanting to keep him out of office? The Page of Wands. A new plan. So if the Knight of the Wands are the FBI, the pages are... I want to say campaign cabinet, but I think these are people... Who are these people? They've been in... Are these secret agents? Chariot, Knight of Wands. The 10 Wands. I think these are people that have been working on the inside and have been gathering information. I don't even think this is special Jackie Smith. These are the people who've been working on this project for all this time. Holy crap, you guys. Holy crap. You know what? Okay. Marie, is there a mole helping them? Absolutely. And there's been a mole for a long time. 39 power pardons, 15. Okay. I know the wall, memories of that wall. That's what Putz hated. Okay. So we are going to take a break. Okay, we're going to take a 3-minute break. 3-minute break. And come right back. I'm going to show you something. If you this awesome little snack I made that ended up being awesome for a little holiday gathering with my bunko ladies. I hope my kid didn't eat it. Okay. Be right back. Okay. I didn't have my appetite today. I was getting hungry while I was doing this. Look at this cute little snack I made. It's so easy. I'm not a pickle person, but the pickles taste amazing on this. You guys go to Aldi. You just get their pork. I think it says pork butt. It's not the butt. It's the shoulder. I seared like this giant thing of pork. I seared it. I put a dry rub of just salt, pepper, paprika on it. Seared it. Put it in the crack. Then let it, and I added some broth. Just because it needed some moisture. This thing cooked down so beautifully. I put just a little bit of barbecue sauce on it to give it flavor. It doesn't taste like barbecue because I didn't put so much on it. It just gives it a nice flavor. And then I just put it on these scoop chips. Cheese and pickles. It's so good. It's such a good little treat. My son came home last night as the party was ending, and he was like, this is exactly what I wanted. So, how are you guys doing? Okay, so do you guys have any questions? Hi, Ellen. Yes, I'm live. at Quiet Like the Forest because my old channel was just so messed up. And all those algorithms and all that interference. My Uncle Ronnie told me today he's like, there's so much Russia all over that. Here, have a bite. There you go. I did not know pickles were going to be so good on this. I was just at the store needing to get some things. I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, I would like pickles on that. I'm not a pickle eater. Okay. Oh, the report's going to be, yeah, it'll be really redacted, which means there's an ongoing investigation to it. So, okay. Now, stop. Fucking my I'm like trying to take a snapshot in my brain with these cards because I know they're going to come up. You guys, did you see this coming up at all in your social media this week with the news? People were like, wait, he reauthorized that. What does that mean? So I had to look at it. Okay. This is the app. Oops. Donholio. Okay. Here we go. So so this was dated September 9th, 2024. I forget why people brought this up, but it was about the time it came up again, I think around, like after the Syriasly happened. And, it was early in the week, and I saw it more on Twitter than on Blue Sky. And like Twitter, they're always trying to plant like narratives and outrage to get people to do what they want them to do and see what the chatter is about. And it's so interesting how the trends and the discussions are totally different on both these platforms. And, Blue Sky doesn't have the fixed algorithms, they don't have the suppression of political speech. So this was grabbing a lot of attention. So this was signed September 9th, 2024. It says, message to the Congress on the continuation of the national emergency with respect to foreign interference in or undermining public confidence in United States elections. Okay. So I think this originally donholio put this into place. And okay, here it is. Declared an executive order 13848 of September 12th, 2018. And so is to continue in effect beyond September 12th, 2024. I just think that's brilliant. You take his own work and you approve it and carry on. I do not like that he did this on September 12th because it's flies in the face of 9/11, okay? But as I'm like reading this thing, I'm like, okay, so he reauthorizes September. This is 2 months ahead of the election. This is about a month and a half after he stepped down, and he knew something was up, and they had to plan for that as well. Okay, I mean, it's just ongoing. We know how there's always influence and whatever. So in every little statement he said, I would either grab one of the astrology cards for clarification. I'd grab the tarot cards. But this kind of blew my mind away. So remember, Syriasly, the fall of it, the fall of the dictator was a Saturn return age card reversed. The Saturn return age is donholio and all those people like him wanting to take over, but because Bashar, whatever his name is, failed, it was reversed, okay? So, message to the Congress. What does this mean? That was the Saturn return age card. That there's an ending. We have the Page of Cups with interference and things going on. And then continuation of the national emergency. That is third house messages. You know, those are texts, those are agreements, they're intercepts. It's everything digital, World Wide Web, email, publications, okay? So this national emergency is everything about the third house messages. This third house, it shows up here, here, China and NATO. Didn't they have they had a duplicate over here too? I think we're embedded in China's stuff because this Pisces card for China, that got a lot of activity from me in November, especially when I had that song Anchors Away going through my mind. I don't know which live that was, but on why POTUS was sending the Navy over to the Mideast under the guise of something else, China kept coming up. So here we have the messages, and that's also hacking. Who else has it? Third house, Russia, and hit the networks. Third house. This is why we're going to Athens. Kimberly is going to be an ambassador because someone has to be in the Middle East now to protect all these messages and messaging. And, you know, Russia doesn't have a place in this Syria anymore. They need someone else in the region who's loyal to donholio. POTUS has the third house messages, intercepts, all that stuff digital in this eighth house of shared resources. So in reference to this, it's the shared resources he has in terms of election interference. That's what's driving this whole 3H card, because it came up here, there's Russia, came up here. The Fool undermining, overturning our election. Yeah, so they definitely have the evidence. So this is why he reauthorized it. Look at all these players. Mar-a-Lago, dorks. The secret there at this first quarter crisis moon is the ongoing Neptune sacrificing our democracy. And he thinks the thing he's going to unleash to be able to do all this that he has is the messages, the digital stuff he has. But it's going to come back and bite him in the arsehole. Show me what Donald thinks he's going to do with this secret digital app to be in office. He thinks he's going to do this. But in actuality, what is falling on him? This just feels like a great big heap of stuff. Do you remember that movie, Back to the Future? And I don't know, Biff is driving a car through the town square trying to chase Michael Fox. It might be one of the sequels, but he's driving so fast he doesn't watch where he's driving, and he drives right into the back of a truck with manure. It falls all over on them. They're just covered in it. That's like, Don thinks he can use this to stay in office, but actually what's getting unleashed is like a great big truck full of poop that just engulfs him. Holy crap, Moon. This card is my card for the comms between the China-Russia and donholio getting messages, lighting the way where he's supposed to go with everything because they all have a script. They're all being told what to do. They have no original thoughts whatsoever. to overturn the United States of America. The Queen of Cups is the USA. So this is what this is about. Donholio thinks with all this technology, brilliant stuff, he's going to, oh shit, no. He's going to be able, this is no. This is the no card. He's going to cover up. That no means cover up. Where are you covering? He thinks he can get away with it because he's covering up. He's covering up. He thinks he hasn't been set up, you guys. He thinks he's got this super secret thing where he can, like, get the message from this place, get the message from this place. Look at this person, set it up for them, the secret message for them. He thinks he can keep doing what he's doing because he thinks it's covered up and nobody's going to notice. Can you believe this? And, oh, yeah. Elonia, bleh. He's I've been saying this for months, ever since he is in so much trouble. But in actuality, what happens? This truck full of poop, he is just engulfed in it. Plop, plop, plop. The Four of Wands reversed. Oh. Everything he went through, did to get to the office of the presidency again and hijack it. He's buried in all this evidence by this is POTUS. This is POTUS. Remember, he came up over here to stop Donholio. This and right his that was the King of Swords. This is POTUS. They've known for a long time. He's buried in it. POTUS is pissed off. Look at that little lizard in his hand, that Ace of Wands. That was the original plan, that Ace of Wands. And he's standing there. He's like, I got everything. You're buried. The Two of Cups. Because our allies, this is Ukraine. Through Wray in Ukraine. And NATO. He's gotten pinged all over the place. Which is like the reason why I never minded that General Charles Flynn got immediately assigned in the Navy to, he was a commander of something, and they kept him out in the Pacific Ocean. I'm like, fine. He's going to be pinging everything. It's like just all the activity surrounding him and that boat. It's crazy because our Defense Department, they have talked at length about how they have the technology to watch in real time, not necessarily people's phones and know whose phone it is, but the action and activity of like crowds, so they can predict if there's going to be like someone tries to overthrow the government again. They watch these patterns and trends, and that to me is what Charles Flynn has provided for them. Got it? Does that make sense? Oh, yes, please hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. And then watch this 500 times. Do Russia and China think the comms are private? I think so. China has been embedded in everything, and we've just let them just snake their way in and out of everything because this. When did I do that reading? I think it was at the end of Donholio's term, that it's like our defenses, people, and I don't know who did it, but it's like they were building a parallel like network to protect all of our stuff, but also it was a parallel like hidden network so that they could also watch all these guys snake through our systems. And like I said, we have a counter NSO Pegasus thing. They have no idea how badly all of their stuff has been compromised. They think they have been sneaky and doing this covert thing. They haven't. And it was just brilliant to watch POTUS. We have to look at this. POTUS playing their game and shoving it right back at them, okay? So when seriously, when it fell, what was happening in tandem that was blowing up the internet, pissing people off, blah, blah, blah? It was that whole discussion. James Clyburn came out. Yeah, POTUS should pardon him. A lot of people said he should pardon him. And there were a lot of people that were very upset. You know, blah, blah. There was a lot of debate about it. But it was a really hot topic. And to me, they planted that as, you know, chatter and loudness to cover the airwaves so that donholio's people trying to go back ex post facto to reverse engineer what happened to the fall of the Syriasly, it would be ruined because it's like all that chatter and fuzz drowned out the stuff that they needed to see. Does that make sense? You know what? Let's look at that. I need a card. I need a card about POTUS, about all these people saying POTUS should pardon. I'm like already laughing. And it was just so ridiculous off the top that even donholio and them were just like rolling their eyes like, no way. Like they didn't buy it. And they didn't even want to engage in exploiting it because they needed to have the airways clear and not so much chatter. Oh, especially there's something going on in New York. That's why he had that rally in New York, because there's something going on with telecoms. Oh, I just got China. And why he went back there right before the election when he like didn't have a snowball chance there, right? So I want to see the card. He should pardon Trump. They were all trying to do this. Again, bad liars. Show me. Yeah, you should. Because what happened here? And the desired outcome by doing that. Here's your plan. The United States of America. Remember, what did I say? I was like, I swear the fall of the Syriasly was because the United States was finally able to unleash something to just make it fall and fall. And then we've got NATO and China there too. Yep, DC's working with their network, their people to work on this. So, the United States, he should pardon him. Moon void, of course. This card I get, I'm sorry, with attacks or like mass events, but this is out of the blue stuff. So this tells me out of the blue, let's just say we should pardon him. Like this is like a last minute idea. Okay. Whose idea was this? 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 The Eight of Cups. Someone set this up. Ping, 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 ping. Remember, they needed all that pinging going on to distract people and have them, well, look at this cup, look at this cup. What about this? What about that? Yeah, what about that? What about this and what about that? Oh, the Hermit is good intel. This is bad intel. Okay. The King of POTUS decided to do it. Okay, because in the past, what are they trying? This is leading up to this, and they're like, he's got to pardon him. The second house owning card. This has to do with the goods, the value, the information that they had on what was going on with the fall of the Syriasly related donholio, and that's on its side because we really want to keep this under wraps. What do you have to keep under wraps? the Knight of Pentacles. People delivering the data and doing the plans, having it come, it's coming to fruition. So they were doing that because they wanted this effect. Water. I just love this water card. This card, oh, just a second. Puppy dog, are you lonely out there? Hi. Come say hello. Okay. This card, water, sensing, this is totally all about tracking data. This is, tracking trends. It's tracking the narrative. It's because they wanted to have an effect on that. It's just, you guys, it's just a great big game. This is just such a great big cat and mouse game. Who's got what on who can outsmart who. And I just see it in these teroscopes. And this has been going on since at least it really came into, this fall really came into clear view. I'm still seeing these same trends, these same cards with the same people. Isn't that crazy? John Fetterman, my master creating a diversion, right? I'm like, are you high? What are you talking about? After he goes off, what did he say? It was so funny. Was it to confirm someone? He's like, yeah, I'll confirm him if he blah, 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 blah. Yes, the Republicans. And so there's a lot of silence out there too. It's just everybody is holding their breath. Not so much the MAGA Republicans because they're just so blinded with donholio, but really this space between now and inauguration, it's like everybody is walking on eggshells. Like everybody is blind. Nobody knows what's going on. And they're just waiting for something to happen. And then, the Syriasly thing happened. That was, show me how bad of a blow this was to Putz. That is such a brutal blow to him and his soft power. It even made donholio disgusted by him because he thought so much about him. And now he's embarrassing the heck out of all of them. I think that he and China I think it makes China nervous too because they're like, hey, this isn't helping. donholio, what do you think about that in Putz? What do you think about that in Putz? Show me Putz. He just feels like he turned in a little bubble of himself and shrunk and popped. Pop. He got caught with his pants down. And he has no money. Oh, there's the United States again. donholio, what did you think of Putz? My defenses are screwed. What did he do to you? How were you adversely affected by your own defenses and trying to protect what you're doing? How does this affect donholio? And how about he's like, yeah, the United States should stay out of Syria. No, I think Russia can go home. Here's Putz. I'm broke. The second house is of owning and income. I'm flat broke. I have nothing left. And what does that mean for donholio then in your big plan? It means I just don't really care about anyone, anything. It's just going to happen and we'll just, what? Why? This is like a spy in my deck. Okay. He's in a bit of denial here. He doesn't think it's like so bad because he always gets out of everything. Oh, look at that Ace of Cups. That was the original sin, the original agreement between donholio and Putz. How he would do everything for him, and Putz was supporting that all the way. Look at that. That fish is about ready to flap out of that cup. So how does this affect donholio? He's screwed. The Nine of Pentacles is the defenses now are affecting his own personal security and comfort. It's affecting his own boundaries. I'm like, who am I going to talk to now? And his wealth. Six of Swords. It's affecting how he is. It's transmitting information, but also getting the people to do that work. He's really pissed. The challenge is their relationship. Oh, the lovers, they're having a rift. There's a rift. Oh, was that from Barbie? The rift in the what? Between the real people land and Barbie. If you guys saw that movie, it's so funny. This is like everything. He was always about the Ace of Cups with Putz. He's always been the lovers with him, wanting to do everything. And it's enough that it's pissing him off at Putz. So Putz, with this spy card that got in here, the Knight of... Oh! You guys, the Knight of Pentacles. Remember the last reading I said, why did they have to have that rumor come out that... you should pardon Donald. It's because of who was carrying the narrative, the pentacles, the data. They needed to clear the air on that. And so, Putz, okay, so what did Putz do now that that happened? How now is it affecting Donald? He doesn't have anyone to carry the Knight of Pentacles in the Middle East and elsewhere because he's out. So what does donholio do? He assigns Kimberly as ambassador to Greece because he still needs a Knight of Pentacles and someone to do this. How else is it bothering Donald? His intentions and plans starting off in his next term, Oh, the Death card. It means the end of his term? Are you seeing that? It means the end of things for Donald. Oh, you guys, he's so screwed. You guys, this is the breakup. Please let that card be little. Now, you guys remember when I backtracked on that Mars retrograde, like when it was hitting hot spots for donholio. I think it was like in the last live, because right now Mars is 5 Leo retrograde. It's going to go into Cancer. And when it got to like 29 Cancer, I think that might even be the day of inauguration. I'm like, you guys just feel so empty. I'm like, it's just empty. I think I said the word death. I didn't want to say the word death because I don't, want to get anyone's hopes up. But, wow. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. And so it is, she says. Okay. So, do you guys have any more questions? I really wanted to come back and revisit that stuff. Is there anything else about here? So I haven't looked at this full moon eclipse yet. Erase it. The full moon in Gemini. I mean, it looks pretty full right now. It's going to be happening, I think, in the next 24 hours. And, is this going to be at the Galactic, the United States Galactic Center of the universe? Wait, let me see this. Where's the sun right now? I'm not in New York. The sun is, where is it? It is, holy crap, you guys. Holy shit. This is going to give POTUS so much power. This full moon is at 23 degrees Sagittarius. That is the United States. Here we go. I can't even talk. I'm like burping my throat. Where's this? 23 Sag. We have talked about this a lot in 2020. Everything from 2020 is active just because of the position of Pluto at Aquarius 0 degrees because so much happened in that degree in 2020. This full moon is at 23 Sagittarius. This is USA Galactic Center. It's center of the universe. That's like the birthplace of the sun. And if the sun represents a leader, this is extraordinarily powerful because when we declared our independence, this is where it was. It moves just a little bit every single year. Right now, the Galactic Center, it's still... I'm not even going to talk about that. So, all I've been talking about tonight is our first quarter crisis moon in Sagittarius Pisces. You know, it happened last Sunday. I finally got to it Wednesday. And look at all this stuff I've been talking about. And that is, we have more of a reveal to go, a bigger reveal to go. And this is what's paving that way. Holy crap. Tell me, okay, can you just show me a card representing the essence of this full moon with the United States 1776 Galactic Center of the Universe that was activated in 20, just, okay. Mercury, that's the plan. That's the plan. And there's an abundance of it. So let's look at this Mercury mind. So Mercury is like a third house thing again. Ooh, it rules Gemini, where our full moon is. So Gemini is ruled by Mercury. You know, and so is the Magician card in the tarot. We are coming out of a Mercury retrograde on the 15th. So as we're hitting these days around the time that a planet stations forward, that's where there's a lot of wobble. That's where things really can kind of go haywire when you're doing things around these edges of going direct and retrograde. Those are weird days. They can be really, really weird and active. But here, that is the plan. Okay, let's see where we have this Mercury retrograde. Leading up to, did anybody have, no, because it's more like, well, we have, POTUS has Mercury retrograde at the quarter moon. So that's like a plan that he has been revisiting. I think it touches this. He's the closest one that has this as his signifier. Where's the... Oh, Ukraine. Ukraine has the Mercury. That's what's feeding them at this quarter moon, leading to this full moon. Oh, Syria has a Mercury retrograde. That's where POTUS goes. That was POTUS's idea. How Syriasly fell, influenced by Mercury retrograde, a prior plan, and that's who POTUS was. He did it, you guys. Now show me. I need to see Mercury. I know I'm just kind of hunting and looking. Here's Mercury mine. Ooh, this. And now we have this third house active. That was all over the place. Communications. Here's Mercury. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys. We have a double Mercury here, Taiwan. He tried to, overthrow the government. But here's the thing. The defense is protecting them from having a full-out coup is related to POTUS in this Mercury retrograde. And now they're going forward. Holy crap. Mercury. There's a bunch of stuff. Jupiter abundance. POTUS. That's this card. An abundance of stuff. He has it reversed in the 6th house. I feel like that is, he's trying to protect something. Just a second, you guys. Hi. I'm live. I don't know, 15, 20 minutes? Okay. Sorry about that. So, guys, it's Friday first try. Look at, I'm all this eating and all this food. Words. La, 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 la. Ooh, you guys. Okay, here we go. Here it is. Do we have another Mercury? This is the retrograde. This was a plan that took up the Syriasly, and that's the rusher. It hit them. Oh, baby. Eek. Okay. So, at this quarter moon we had over Washington, D.C. related to the Syriasly, falling. The secret as to that happening had to do with timing. This is the part of fortune increase. That was a secret. The way it was to be carried out and unleashed as a hidden enemy was a plan through Mercury mind. So we are not done with POTUS's grand plan. Taiwan's got a little bit in here. But who else is? Ukraine has the goods that's kind of giving us the oomph to go do it. Okay? And here, something's up with Israel too, you guys. Because this is something that's going to be unleashed. The hidden enemy that they're going to unleash. I don't think Netanyahu knows about this. How does Netanyahu relate to this thing? And something, this is Netanyahu. Whoop. This is Mercury mind. Six of Cups reversed, going back to the past. Like he thinks there's a plan going back. I don't think it's the plan that he thinks it is. And Mercury mind at this full moon. The devil! I didn't think he knew. Okay, so the devil is Putz. It's donholio. All them a-holios, including Bibi. So this Mercury mind, the plan, he doesn't relate to it. I swear to God, he does not know what's going on here. This should be reversed. Did he not go to Mar-a-Lago last fall and see donholio for some? Was he he was going to speak to Congress? Wasn't that just this fall, this summer? Shouldn't have gone. Dork. Now, how does this hit Netanyahu with this plan? The United States. We still have something up our sleeve. Page of Cups, this is someone who's pinging. Oh, something undercover with the FBI. It could be like ANOM, a different app. Yeah, surveillance. This is our reverse surveillance on Netanyahu. That's it. This is crazy, you guys. So I am going to end it here. I think this is a good ending point. You guys, thank you so much for coming out and joining me this Friday night. I hope that you guys have a good full moon. And again, thank you so much for your love and support. Thank you so much for watching Public Hours. I should break through by next time, okay? You guys have a great holiday celebration. You guys stay safe. There's a lot of weird stuff going on out there, okay? So, thank you. Wow. Thank you. See you next time. Yes. Thank you. Yes, Julia, go howl at that moon. We should all go howl out there and say hello to each other and have that moon carry that energy to one another. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Joji. Take care. Thank you, Delphian. Melinda. Happy Sunshine, Free Spirit. Marie. Deborah. Yay. Okay. Good night.